What is up guys, F1 Luke Sam, or Luke Sam here, whatever floats your boat, and today I'm going to be predicting the 2022 Constructors' Championship in F1. Today I'm going to be ranking the teams on where I think they're going to finish from P10 all the way up to P1. I'm going to tell you why, and at the end of the video there's going to be 4 big calls, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. In P10, controversial to some for some reason, I'm going to put Haas. Now Haas have 2 drivers in their second year. Their car is average at best. And yes, to my understanding, they stopped developing last year's car and put all their resources into this year, which is cool. I also think that Mazepin had the fastest top speed or something in pre-season testing at Barcelona, but that's only because they lack downforce. They're not going to be good on a race distance if they lack downforce. Look, it's not only because of their bang average car, they're 2 very average drivers. It's also the conflict that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. It's not helping their rep, and it's definitely taken their eyes off of this year and onto the politics that's going on next door, really. 3 more things. Mazepin has no job security. How do you expect him to perform with no job security? We saw how Bottas did that when he first started at Mercedes. No job security means not as good performance, really. If he's kicked out, we could see Fittipaldi take a seat. A first-year driver under this much pressure, just straight into it towards the end of pre-season testing, how is he going to perform? Also, I know Gene Haas said it's okay to lose 40 million or something like that, but if they've lost a major Russian sponsor, that's a lot of money, and the sport runs on money. Credit to them if they score a point, even like a single point. I can't see it happening. I can't see them scoring a point. Bonus points for Mazepin's helmet, looks dope, and bonus points for how they dealt with that Russian sponsor. 2 thumbs up, sick. 2 bonus points. My predictions for the drivers, if it's Mazepin and Mick, they're both going to finish on no points, but if they do happen to score a point, I think it's going to be Mazepin. If Fittipaldi steps in, then Mick Schumacher's going to finish in front of him if anyone was to score a point. I did also read that Gunther Steiner wants Hülkenberg. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does, he's going to finish ahead of Mick. In P9, I've gone for Alfa Romeo. No matter how good your car looks, and bonus points for how good the car looks, doesn't make it go faster, right? Bottas is a good get. Guan Yu Zhou's in his first season. Do I see him performing that well? Personally, I think he's going to flop. But bonus points for their helmets. I'm going to put their helmets on screen. They look f***ing dope. It's simple math. It takes 2 people to fight for a Constructors. Unfortunately, I think Alfa Romeo are going to be fighting with one hand behind their back. Bottas is going to be their main man, Guan Yu Zhou. I hope you prove me wrong, but that's just my prediction. Of course, going on that, Bottas is going to finish higher than Guan Yu Zhou. I think Bottas will see a few points this year. Guan Yu Zhou, probably none. If he does, maybe 1 or 2. In P8, we've got Aston Martin. The car looks dope. Again, the liveries this year are so cool. The car looks sick, but same as Alfa Romeo, doesn't matter how good the car looks, it's not going to make it faster. I think their lineup is fantastic. I know I'm blowing a lot of wind up their ass for a team I think is going to finish P8, but Vettel is coming towards the end of his career. Sorry, Vettel fans, he is slowing down. Stroll is scarily underrated. I like him. I think he's going to be a good driver. Not just because we share the same initials, but I actually think he's got talent. Now, that's all the wind I'm going to blow up their ass. The reason that they're going to finish P8 is the car. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't actually matter how good the driver is. It's all about the car. A good driver in a crap car is more likely to not do as good in a season. They've got some talented drivers. I think the car is just going to be slow. That's the moral of the story here. They have really good long-term goals though, so the next 2, 3, 4 years we could see them in the top 4, which I'm really excited about. But this season, I know I said Stroll's underrated, but I just can't see him finishing above Sebastian Vettel, so it's going to be Vettel beating Lance Stroll this year. In P7, sorry Williams fans, I've gone for Williams. I don't really have much to back this up. I just can't see them beating the teams above them, but I can see them beating the teams below them. Livery looks sick. Bit of a common theme in today's video. Livery looks sick. It's not going to make the car faster. Extra money for finishing higher last year is going to be sick because of the points they scored. Absolutely dope. I think Nicholas Latifi is getting a lot of experience, which is good. Albon is nearly the perfect addition to this team as well. Bonus points for Albon bringing peace to Red Bull and Mercedes. That's all for Williams. I just think that Albon is going to beat Latifi. I can't really see Latifi winning. Albon's got a point to prove, and he will do that this season. P6, this is a really bold one. I've put Alpine. Before testing even started, Alpine found something and we knew that. They have a really sexy car. Ocon is class but fairly rated, and Alonso is getting old but he's still very quick. I'm not really selling the P6 thing, am I? So how am I ranking what I've described below the likes of McLaren, AlphaTauri, even Red Bull? How? They've clearly chosen performance over reliability, and we even saw in the last day of pre-season testing, we saw this. It might not have had something to do with the engine, but still, it's concerning. I honestly love the livery, bonus points for that. I think they're going to be very, very quick. I just think that reliability is going to slow them down, make them use more engines, or just straight up DNF. To add to that, I can see Ocon beating Fernando Alonso pretty easily. Love you, Fernando. Please retire. Give my boy Oscar Piastri a seat, please. P5, I've gone AlphaTauri, not just because I'm in some Pierre Gasly trance and I love him so much. I'm trying to be realistic. They have a very talented driver trying to prove his point to take the next step back to Red Bull, hopefully not, or maybe another more advanced team. They've also got a very short, young, capable driver who really hit his stride towards the back end of last season. I honestly think he's going to keep that form to start this season, and I hope he does. They have a really sexy car, bonus points. And also, you know what, bonus points for backwards cap Pierre, just cause. A decent car, I say decent, but reliable car will beat Alpine next year. I'm saying it. AlphaTauri will finish above Alpine. I think Pierre Gasly, it's a given, is going to finish above Yuki Tsunoda, but I'm really excited to see what this pairing has to offer in 2022. Okay, down to the big four. We've still got Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, and Mercedes left. I'm going to preface this and say I think it's going to be a really tight battle, and I really, really hope it's exciting. But in P4, I've gone for my boys at, oh, hang on. Sorry. Wrong shade of red. My boys at McLaren. Ricciardo and Lando are such a perfect pairing. We didn't think that last year, but going off what we've seen towards the back end of last year and also early this year, it's going to be just an exciting partnership. Forget the racing, the partnership is going to be exciting. P4 last year would have hurt them. They're going to come back as not just that team that everyone loves. They want to win. Lando would have learnt a lot, especially from Russia, and the car's being tailored more to sort of suit both of them, so we could really see Daniel Ricciardo come into his own this year. Livery looks great, just like I've said for almost every other car. Bonus points for the glow in the dark. And while we're on the topic of bonus points, just bonus point for Daniel Ricciardo, just for existing. Thank you, Daniel. I love the partnership and I love the potential. I love hopefully being able to see a Lando debut win and also another Daniel Ricciardo masterclass. This is a big call, probably one that's not as popular. I'm trying to take my bias out of it, but I honestly do think Daniel Ricciardo will beat Lando Norris in the 2022 season. In P3, the bottom step of the podium, I've gone for the boys at Red Bull. It's a step down from last year, but a step up from where I would have placed them before pre-season testing. Now, we all know what a perfect teammate Perez is. We all know how quick Max Verstappen is. Why did I doubt putting them this high? That's because they put so much effort into last season's car for Max Verstappen to win the championship. From what I know, they pretty much neglected 2022 and they were like, fuck it, we want to win this year. Before testing, I was literally sitting there going P5 at best. There's no way they finish any higher than P5. They're going to have two talented drivers, but a crappy little shitbox. But after not watching, unfortunately, but looking at the timesheet for pre-season testing, it is so clear that they've found something, and they're trying to hide it. Also, I couldn't leave out how just quick Max Verstappen is. Bonus points for Max Verstappen's helmet, looks sick, and number one on the car, absolutely dope. But minus points for a yellow nose, what were you doing? And also for Horner's comments, man, f*** you. They're a team of fighters and proven winners. So the constructors, again, Checo might be their weakness, but for Max, that's his advantage. Max is going to finish higher than Checo. Now the big two, Ferrari and Mercedes. I've gone for the boys at Ferrari in P2. The reason I see them beating Ferrari goes back to preschool math, goes back to the day where you learn that 2 is greater than 1. 2 talented drivers is much greater than 1 talented driver. Sorry, Checo. The car looks sexy, the livery looks sexy, bonus points for that. Their build in general just looks sexy. It's just, that's the only word I can use to describe it. I don't know why I'm going like this, probably because the car is so wide. It's really interesting to see the different approaches that all the teams are taking, how they look so different, but they still go so fast. Bonus points for backwards hat Charles Leclerc and also Carlos Sainz, 2 wonderful men. Also bonus points for Bonotto's accent. Chef's kiss. Here's another formula for you, pun intended. A well-built car, plus the hardest working driver on the grid, plus the most talented driver on the grid, equals P2. This is a really hard one to say who's going to finish in front of who. Going off last season and the bad luck that Leclerc received, I think that he will finish above Sainz this year. Yeah, I'm going to stick fat with it. Leclerc over Sainz. But what is such a great formula? Put them in second place. It makes no sense. That's because if 3 minus X equals 2, then X equals Mercedes. Mercedes is always number 1. They've won the last 8 constructors. They stopped developing the W12 halfway through last season and started developing the W13. They sandbagged preseason testing just to finish on a 1-2 on the last day. They added George Russell, a young superstar, to the team. They have Lewis Hamilton, who has revenge in his eyes and wants to win the next World Championship more than anyone else. Their team has developed what looks like another very successful car with a sexy livery. Bonus points for that. And in the hands of the GOAT and a man that put a Williams in P2 in Spa, I refuse to let my mind see them fail. They can't fail. The way I see life, there's 3 certainties. Birth, death, Mercedes finishing P1 in the constructors. And that also means one of these drivers is going to win the World Drivers' Championship. That's a whole video in itself. Who I think it's going to be, to put it simply, my heart wants George Russell, but my head is saying Lewis Hamilton. I think Lewis Hamilton is going to finish this year with 8 Drivers' Championships. You guys agree? Let me know in the comments. Before I get into my 4 big calls, comment a big call of your own. Number 4 is going to be the spiciest, if you want to call it that. So I'm going to start simple. I would call it a hot take, but I'm going to call it a fact. Fact number 1, Haas will score no points. Sorry Haas fans, sorry Jamie, you're going to have to get a tattoo. I just can't see it happening. Fact number 2, Guan Yu Zhou will flop. Sorry, am I the only one that doesn't see potential in this guy? I'm not saying he's not going to score points. I'm saying he probably won't score many, if any. Fact number 3, there will be 2 new race winners this year. Probably more, but the 2 that I think are going to win a race. First one's very obvious.
Carlos Sainz.
And the second one is going to be the McLaren boy, Lando Norris. I think he's going to win a race. And the biggest call that I have, there will be fireworks. Sparks will fly at Ferrari. 2 hardworking, talented drivers at the most prestigious car brand in F1, trying to make their mark, trying to be the best, trying to prove a point. There's going to be fireworks. It just spells trouble. I want to see them do good. I know you guys want to see them do good. I just can't overlook the fact that there's going to be clashes. They're going to be clashing. Thank you for watching. If you liked, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you love Formula 1, comment down below what you thought and subscribe if you are new. Until then, if you want to see a driver's prediction or a livery ranking, let me know in the comments as well. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.